Hi there, welcome to KEYENCE setup video for the IV4. Today we're going to be showing you how to connect your IV4 to an Allen Bradley compact Logix using Studio 5000 and the Logix Designer software. This video will be using a compact Logix, but it'll work for the vast majority of Allen Bradley systems that support implicit or cyclic communication over Ethernet IP. So as you can see, I've got a little program here already set up. We're starting in the IV Smart Navigator software, which you'll have if you have the IV4. And we want to make sure we turn on one setting here. This is very important. This is the only thing you'll have to change on the IV4 side of things. You want to go to Sensor Advanced down here and go to Utility. And you'll have to make sure you're in program mode when you do this. From here, you'll hit FieldNet/CommUnit DL. Go to these settings, and you want to make sure that you have Ethernet IP enabled. I already have mine enabled here. If you don't have yours enabled, make sure you click Ethernet IP. You can leave these two disabled for the most part, unless you'll be using the OCR tool. In that case, you'll probably want to turn on byte swap if you'll be using it to communicate with your PLC. From there, hit OK. If you're enabling Ethernet IP for the first time, it'll have you restart the device, so it'll go through a quick reboot and then open up the software again. In my case, I already had it set, so we should be all good. We can throw this in run mode. And you can see the program I have here. We're just doing identify, looking for this object here. Now let's jump into Studio 5000, and all we're going to do is create a new project. In this case, it'll pull up sort of a list of PLCs you can use. And in just a second, you'll see this is the one we're going to use, this model in particular, but any of these models will all work pretty much exactly the same. Let's just name our project IV4 and hit next. We're using revision 32 in this case, although the majority of revisions should all work. Pretty similar process. And hit finish. So in just a second, once it finishes loading, we'll see Studio 5000's Logix Designer pop up, and we'll be able to get into the nitty-gritty of setting up the IV4 here. Okay, looks like Logix Designer is finally loaded up and ready to go. Here, the first thing we'll want to do in this software is install our EDS file. Now, the EDS file is actually available as soon as you download the IV Smart Navigator software, which we'll use to program the IV4. So to install our EDS file, all we do is go to this EDS hardware installation tool, click that, and it'll open up this wizard, which allows us to add our EDS file. Here we go. We'll hit next. And we're going to register an EDS file. That's already selected. We'll hit next. Now we just want to register a single file. So you can browse and find your EDS file if you go to your C drive, program files, the KEYENCE folder, find IV Smart Navigator, Ethernet IP, and it's this EDS file right here. Go ahead and hit click open, then hit next. Installation results look good. We'll hit next. And we'll hit next. One more time. And we've successfully completed the EDS wizard. We'll hit finish. And then what we can do is add our IV4 now as a module. So we'll click on Ethernet here. Give it a second to think about that. And now we can hit new module. So go ahead and we'll click that. And here it's going to give us an option. All we have to do is search up IV4 here. And you'll see because we installed the EDS file, it's readily available. We'll hit create. And in this case, we're going to go ahead and name it IV4. This is an important step because you need to make sure the name of the module that you create is going to match up with the tag files that we add later. I'll show you how that looks when we add the tag files. For now, I'm going to hit change, and this is another important step. You can keep this on monitor data and external input, but the important thing to change here is this from a cint to an int. It'll default to cint when you first load it in. Just make sure to change that. Tag suffix we can keep at 1, and we'll hit OK. Hit yes. Now the last thing we have to do here is specify our IP address. So we can go over here, head over to Sensor Advanced, Device Settings. We actually have to make sure we're in program mode first. This is just so we can check out our IP address of the IV4 that we have running over here. Network settings is 172.1.9.102.51. So we'll say 172.1.9.102.51. That's okay. Go ahead and throw this back into run mode. And now, really all we have left to do is to import our tags. Now the tag file you do have to get from the KEYENCE website. And I'm going to show you where to find that right here. So on the KEYENCE website, you'll see we have the IV4 up there on the front page. If it's not there on the front page, just type in IV4, click right here. From there, you'll hit Downloads and Software. And then you can find the tag file here. You can just click Download, and you'll get it right to you. Just be aware you do need a KEYENCE login to download the tag file. Anyway, I've already got my tag file downloaded, so we'll go to Tools, Import, Tags, and Logic Comments. I had mine in my download folder. All we're going to want to do is just the default mode tags. Hit Import. Now those are in. Let's go to our controller tags, and we'll see IV4 has already been imported. Now if you see these tags right here, I'll start with IV4, which is important because we named our device IV4, our module when we created in the PLC. If those didn't match, we'd have some issues, but because they do, they're loading in all good. And you can see the description of each tag is loaded up, looking good. All right, from here, because we've already set this for Ethernet IP, and this is already loaded, we're just going to try to go online here, connect the PLC and the device, and we should see all these tags start changing when we go to monitor tags. And we should see these zeros start changing to ones, different integers, etc. So I'll specify my path. In this case, I'm connected via USB. It's the device I'm using, and we'll just hit download. We'll go ahead and hit download, and then we just let the PLC work its magic, load up all these changes we've made from the software onto our hardware. We'll hit yes, put in run, and you'll see we're already getting some values changing in there. What we might want to look at here is that tool 1 matching rate, which we should be able to see if I can adjust the width of these columns. Tool 1 matching rate right there, so we'll look at this data 36. And let's try to pull up the IV4 IV Smart Navigator software here. And you can see data 36, that's going to be our tool 1 matching rate. And if you look at the matching rate, tool 1 over here, it's 100 right now, but as I adjust this, oh, it's tough to get it past. You should see that change accordingly. There you go. Make it 0, no good. All the way to 100. And like that, you're connected. That's all for today. Please look out for future videos. We'll be going into programming the IV4 over Ethernet IP in the Allen Bradley ecosystem. Thanks for watching.